They're over there, look. How many are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5, right? The Jarl. Hi, how are you?
And you? It's already been a few months since we saw each other.
Yeah.
A video that actually did pretty well, by the way.
Yeah, it was really good, I admit.
If it's doing well, I'm happy for you.
And you, has anything happened with you?
Very little. Just a bit. A tiny, tiny breeze in the storm. Yeah. Of course, a few things have happened. Oh, the sauce. That's a big word. It's a YouTuber term. Half of that story was in the sauce. Yeah, it lasted about 10 days, but that's how it is. It's social media. We play the game. So there you go. We've moved on since then.
Did you get fired from your company?
It's always about territory, as I always say. So when someone takes too much territory, the previous occupant wants it back. So that's how it happened, actually, off the grid. I won't discuss that story much since I can't share everything now. Actually, there are a lot of things that have to stay confidential for now. And so I promised, and since I keep my word, I promised not to talk about it. But quickly, well, yes, indeed, there were some events with a free party on the upper part of the establishment. Several events caused the prefect, who disagreed with some actions, to be on our backs. We must be accountable. In the end, there had to be a scapegoat. There always is when something major happens in a company. I agreed to be that scapegoat. That's it. That's all.
And how is Rennes doing?
But Rennes is the most beautiful city in France, yet it's going completely off the rails. I've talked about this non-stop on social media for 3 or 4 years. At first, people thought I was crazy, but time passed. And today, everything I said is happening. The territories are being taken over, one after another.
There was a shooting recently.
There was a recent shooting. It wasn't the first. Others happened months ago, including a major one last year. It's become something normal in Rennes. Really, people are getting used to it. I made sure they wouldn't get used to it and tried to constantly remind them that what was happening was becoming serious. Well, now we're here. It's too late. So we'll have to find solutions, because for now, they're killing each other. How far are we going to accept things until it's innocent people out in the street? Let me remind you, at Kennedy it was 7:30 with many people outside the bar. Guys arrived at the plaza and immediately started shooting. That's it, it's nothing. It's really tense. So it's really tense, especially for them right now, because it's between them that things are heated. Unfortunately, that's the rule of territorial wars. For them, it's business. I already told you, we talked about it in the video, it's business. It's like a company, except that they don't have a commercial court or labor tribunal when they don't get along with their partners to settle their disputes. So, old school, meaning when there's no commercial court to say we don't agree on a territory, on business, on our clients, what do? We get rid of people who bother us. That's how it is.
Well, listen, let's go check all that out. Or maybe not. No, actually, there are places we can't go. You told me it's better if we don't go there.
So actually, you asked me if we could go see different places in Rennes. So, as a rule, there are territorial rules, okay? And when I was on the Dale territory, all the dealers in Rennes respected my territory. Either they came and then they came to do business. That means even for them, they would make rounds. So in that case, I'm neither a judge nor a cop. When you came before, you noticed yourself, you told me, there are guys, you can tell they're dealers. Well, yes, they're dealers. But I'm not a cop, I'm not a judge. At some point, they're free in the city. If the guys behave, that's fine. What they do isn't my concern. That's the problem with the justice system, police and judges. Yeah, on the other hand, if I went onto their territory, that would be a real mistake. It meant confronting them on my own turf, where they respected me. So I shouldn't go filming in the places where they are. That would be inappropriate, and then I'd be the one breaking the territorial rules. And for you and for me and for everyone who is with us, it's better if we respect the rules. That's how I am. I respect the rules. I respect the rules of territory. They have theirs.
By the way, Maile, your trouble started with the Antifas, not them, on that famous day.
That's what's incredible. You're right to say it. Even though I told you we're not going to make an entire video about it. Because besides, I think people have already heard everything there was to hear. But actually, what's crazy about the stories we've had to live through. By the way, everything is written in my book. For those who are interested, they can read it. I'm saying this because it's important. It's for the people who want to know. Many people message me, go ahead, tell us. By the book, actually, it's all written in there. I spent a year writing it. But in reality, and you're right to point it out, what's crazy is that in the end, it wasn't the dealers who managed to do what they wanted to do with the Jarl. It's Union Pirate and kids from the left. Isn't that incredible? It's just poor kids who, when you chase after them, they run away and scream because they're scared, which I can understand. They're really about 20 years old, so ultimately they're not dangerous. The truly dangerous ones are the dealers with businesses and money at stake when their territory is taken. That's what happened to them on the slab, after all. And in the end, they have mutual respect. Old school with men's rules, real men's rules, and they say, that's it, we respect the rules. I don't go to your place, you don't come to mine, and everything works fine, and that's how we get along. And they were real men, they respected the rules. And well, they mess with us anyway. They have a whole city with them. They have the whole system with them. They don't care, they just do it. That's how it is. We're 200 meters from downtown. We're not far from the center, about 200 or 300 meters. It's a fairly quiet area. I tell people you can gauge the city's politics by walking downtown. Because when you walk around downtown, you see people hanging out, people walking around. You see the state of the trash cans, you see the state of the walls. And you can pretty much understand how, let's say, the general politics of the city work. And Rennes is still fabulous. That is to say, actually, it's the city center, and it's purely and simply catastrophic and disgusting. Well, there are tags on every street corner. It's
Amazing as you say that. Look there.
yeah.
Earlier we discussed your company and the incident. Theo, come here. You're the one who used the pepper spray.
Yes, that's right. Yes, exactly.
We saw that video clip where you use pepper spray on a girl who's there.
A girl who was there but sadly shouldn't have been.
What was she doing?
Well, actually, she was an accomplice with all the others regarding what happened at the free party. We initially turned away several people to clear the platform, so things went smoothly at first. And those kinds of people, actually, she came to insult us, to threaten us, and to spit in our faces, so to speak. After 3 hours, she tried to spit on me, so I used pepper spray.
That's all it is, actually.
That's all it is. Yeah, that's it.
There wasn't anything else?
There wasn't anything else with her.
And with others, were there moves that were changed?
Oh, well, there were exchanges of blows, yes. From that day, well, we got hit in the face with projectiles.
What kind of projectiles?
Beer cans, we got hit by at least 10 of them easily. We only had one person injured on our side. On their side, there were no injuries. So after 3 hours of intervention, it was still pretty tough.
How many of them were there on the other side?
There were probably 150 to 200 people. Oh yeah, and us, we're only 12 officers, at most 14 officers per night, you know?
A free party behind the establishment. The police evacuated them and they gathered in front of your workplace.
Then they saw us, of course, so yeah, a bunch of fascists. And they started throwing stones at us, throwing, well, glass bottles at us actually. And we can't just let ourselves be attacked for nothing, especially since we had maybe 100 people waiting in line. We also protect our customers, which is important.
So what's your current situation and what are you doing now?
For now, I'm waiting for the reopening. We'll see what happens next, but we can't work under these conditions. It's just not possible.
So you see, I was talking with Theo. We were telling each other what happened. Well, as for you, we won't go back over that. What's next?
I have many projects since I'm a project person, but for now I'm waiting for my darling to finish her contract. She has a notice period, so we're waiting. And after that, we're not going to stay. So we're not going to stay in Brittany. We're going to leave Brittany. Well, yes, we have choices. We're going to head south. And as we head south, we have a big project. By the way, I'm taking advantage of this. I'm taking advantage of your video, actually. If there are any big bosses who run big campsites, I mean, big campsites with 400, 500 spots, mobile homes, you know, the big stuff, pools and everything. We want to manage this kind of establishment because my wife and I have been fans for years. We've been dreaming of taking over a campsite for about 10 years now, and we're going to take advantage of this situation to do it. So that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to love it because, you know, I love people, and I love people in nightclubs, but I also love them at campsites. Because my wife and I have been going to all kinds of campsites everywhere for over 30 years. We love it. And now we said, that's it, we have to take the plunge, and we're going to run a campsite. So we've already had several leads. We haven't said yes yet. We're giving ourselves a little time to choose where we're going to go. By next summer, I think we'll be settled and organized.
That's huge. I'll come see you.
Oh, well, you better come see us. You better. Camping is a wonderful place to meet normal people. I enjoy the campground atmosphere where people gather around a table and everything. You go from one spot to another, you talk with everyone. I love that. All summer long, I'm at the campground. July, August, I'm camping. And we've been doing this for 30 years with my wife. It sounds unbelievable, right? It's huge, yeah. I'm the kind of guy who goes straight to a new neighbor I don't know and asks him if he's okay with it, if we can have a little barbecue together in the evening. I'm the kind of guy who does that. Here's a good graffiti example in Rennes, like we discussed. See, there it is.
It's huge, it's huge, it's huge. Because here, look, in my field of vision everywhere, I see tags. Here, the area is tagged like 100%. It's crazy. It's like this everywhere. I hope the whole city isn't like this.
No, not all over the city, but there are large parts of the city and downtown where you'll find it. Anyway, there's not a single wall without graffiti. There's always a spot where you find some, all the time, even on businesses and everything. Because it's a city where there are protests very frequently. The shop owners can't take it anymore. Downtown, it's a disaster. We're still in a city where most of the time they have to board up their windows because everything gets wrecked during the protests. We have a lot of protests in Rennes. We deal with it constantly, so shopkeepers have just accepted it. If you'd come a few weeks earlier, you would have been shocked. No shop windows were visible in the city. None. They're all hidden in that case because they all get smashed. The shopkeepers can't take it anymore. It's already complicated in downtown Rennes because the city hall is removing all the parking spaces, absolutely all of them. That means you can't park in downtown Rennes anymore. Almost not at all. And the last main spot where people can park and go to restaurants and shops. They're removing that too, which means there will be nothing left for them. The downtown area will die because people don't bike to restaurants or shop for clothes by bike. Families and people living outside central Rennes rarely bike into the center, you know what I mean? It's getting complicated for everyone here. It seems like a city and left-wing issue. I'm not always attacking left-wing people. But here, with this kind of decision, economically and strategically, it's really a choice made by left-wing cities. They're hurting downtowns by removing parking spaces. In the United States, we say, no parking, no business. Yes, that's what we say in the United States. When you open a business, you need parking. But in Rennes, City Hall decided there will be no downtown parking. If there's no parking, there's no business. That's just how it is.
Actually, it's no cars, so no parking, so no business.
Well, that's it. It's really dramatic. In a city, we should have found a system where we can combine both parking and businesses. You can do the same thing while being eco-friendly and green and all that. You can do the same thing, you can find a middle ground. But in Rennes, they decided that the middle ground was no parking. A specific middle ground, but there you have it. And so the main parking lot in Rennes, in the center, well, it's going to be removed to put something that's going to be very nice. I won't deny that. The project looks great, but it's a disaster for shopkeepers. You know that I'm an entrepreneur at heart and that I'll always be on the side of the shopkeepers. It's business, it's work.
It's life too.
It's the life of the city, actually. It's the life of the city. It's business, and above all, it's work.
I see that in a lot of cities. You know, cities are dying little by little because there's no more traffic.
If there's no more traffic in the city center, there's no more life, you know? And young people need to work.
Look at that fuck turf. That's for Marguerite Stern. Marguerite Stern and Dora Muto are concerned by this sticker.
We're on a main avenue in Rennes. We're not very far from the National Police, the most important police station in downtown Rennes, which is really in the center. By the way, there were some stabbings not very long ago, just a few months back, about 200 meters from the Rennes police station.
Oh yes, incredible.
It's incredible. It happened at 7:30 p.m. Everything's fine, just to show you how much they're not worried about the police, nor are they worried about the justice system. They position themselves, and if you disagree, a quick stab ends it. Look, you see, here, by the way, we're talking about nightclubs. Look here, there was a death. Here, this young guy, it was in 2018, I think. When leaving the club, really, at closing time, well, he was attacked by several people and they beat him to death. There you go. You can't find a worse situation than that. You go to a nightclub to have a good time with your friends, you want everything to go well, and then you run into 3 or 4 lunatics who decided to beat you up. Often for something trivial. You can find that in a nightclub, a little argument, and you end up losing your life. Unfortunately, nightclubs aren't exempt from this kind of situation. And well, here in Rennes, we experienced it with that club.
Do you think it's happening more often now? Or is it just getting more media coverage than before?
It happened before, but not as frequently or with such brutality. Well, that's what changed me over the years. When I was 22 or 23 and started working at the club, back then fights were simple. Just one guy against another and they'd scuffle. Sometimes we even let it happen. It could happen that we'd say, listen, go ahead, fight, and then afterwards we'll count the points. Afterwards, when they got up, I always say the fight stopped at the first knockout. At the first sign of blood, a nose or mouth bleed, it ends. That's the tragedy. You get hit, fall, and the other 5 guys attack you. You're already down, but they keep going. That's today's tragedy. It's that this young generation, not all of them, but a part of this young generation, has decided to settle their conflicts this way, with such brutality that it's downright barbaric, really. There's no other word for it. It's barbaric. And people sometimes, they're not ready. They don't expect that, you know? For some stupid argument, a discussion in a nightclub, something that ends so badly that you lose your life or end up disfigured or with lasting effects. We're talking about a nightclub. Not too long ago, I can't remember the exact place in the city, but a guy got turned away at the entrance. The guy comes back, starts shooting into the crowd and kills someone in the line. He just shoots into the crowd. We didn't see that before, but now it happens. It drives me crazy. For me, it's all these situations where I always say it, they just leave us all outside. That's all I have to say. People should get it. The real issue isn't finding those who mess up. As we saw with Kennedy, that's the proof. Did you see the guys were all taken in that same night? They shot into the subway crowd and seriously injured people. A few hours later, they were all in custody. I mean, actually, we have a team of investigators who are really strong, you know. But the problem is, anyway, they know all of them. They already have the names, they have the files, they have everything. That night, they went straight there. They already had the apartment. They knew where the guys were. Well, you might think, yeah, the settling of scores between dealers is super organized. We're dealing with professionals, we're dealing with... But no, actually, let me tell you, not at all. Actually, these guys do everything in a rush, in a hurry. Because in reality, if you look at the media now, all the time, they get caught. Even Amra, who shot at the prison officers, you know, they released him, he escaped, they found him at the ends of the earth, you know. Here, we can say one thing, we have a real investigative police force. But what's dramatic is that we'd really like it if, well, it didn't happen. We need something before, you know, before it happens. You see, it's before it happens. Can't we stop them before? Can't we put a stop to all this killing?
Actually, to dissuade them from going through with it?
To dissuade them from going through with it. That is, when we catch one, when he goes to jail, he doesn't want to go back here, Amra, he goes to jail. A week after arriving, he files a complaint saying a prison guard hit him on the head with a table.
Now the prison guards are the target.
No, but have you seen the latest videos? They're just crazy. By the way, there's one who keeps getting banned from social media because she's too outrageous, that's for sure. They set the door on fire and shot inside the house. But once again, everything is said. It's all about territory. But again, what do they do to keep their territory? They go, what do they attack? Well, they attack the territory of the prison guards. The house is your first territory. What do? Well, what do they attack? Well, they attack your house. They attack your territory to warn you. If you attack mine, I'll attack yours. Leave me alone and I'll do the same. That's all it is, the messages. And on top of that, they film it, not for nothing. They put it on social media to show everyone what they're capable of. It's not innocent. Back when we caught the bad guys, we hanged those we saw as the bad guys and put them in the street to show we were reclaiming their territory. When we arrived, we'd say they all got hanged to send a message. There were no videos then. And people say it's disgusting. They film themselves, they show what they're doing, and then they put it online. But we've always done that. We've all always done that. Humanity has always done that. They show their actions when taking over territory. Dealers act similarly, showing how they take over territory, like at Kennedy. It's funny you mention it because to me, I think it's a big failure. Some guys took 3 or 4 bullets, but it's still a failure. An hour or 2 later, those guys were all taken into custody before they could run away. And then obviously they're going to do a bit of time. There were no deaths, but they're still going to do a little time in prison. They'll get out in a few months since there were no deaths, and they'll find them some mitigating circumstances. And then it'll just add to their 15th conviction, or 16th, or 17th, or 18th. That's really our problem. Before, since they were hooked and then they died, they never came back to the clan. That's impossible. Now, since we allow it, they return repeatedly because the sentences aren't harsh enough to deter them. I'm talking about prisons.
Where are we going exactly?
We're heading to the plaza. It'll be tougher.
Oh, okay.
We're going to the plaza.
Okay. Are there dealers on the plaza right now?
I don't know if there are any at this time because, you see, right now, look, at the time you're filming me, it's 4 o'clock. It's a little early, but maybe we'll have 2 or 3. The ideal time is 5:30. Until, not outside in the evening, the ideal time is, 5:30, 6 o'clock.
We're arriving on the plaza now. Well, it looks quiet here.
But I prefer it to be quiet.
Yeah, me too, of course. You know, some people tell me, yeah, you're looking for trouble. You're looking for... Not at all, actually. Quite the opposite, actually. I avoid them, or at least I try to avoid them.
We're on the Columbia Plaza. So the Columbia Plaza in Rennes is a crazy thing because it's a place that could have been beautiful. It's been under renovation for 2 years and City Hall says work will finish in 2025. Apparently it will go on until 2027, so that's several years of visual disasters. When you look, really, you just have to show it. The whole plaza is like that, you know? It's catastrophic. You can judge a city's condition and politics by looking at its center. Well, here you are, and actually you think it's really complicated for everyone. Careful, you're gonna have a lot of... We'll just stay on this side. We won't go over there.
We should put a T for him. We should put a little...
A little rear view mirror? Yeah, that would be perfect.
That way he could see.
That way it prevents... because right now he got hit by a... It was pretty bad.
Are you okay?
He looks like he has...
It's his first shoot, you know.
That's true, his first shoot.
It's okay. He got deflowered.
So do you see the Columbia Plaza? I feel bad for the shopkeepers. I keep coming back to them. It's shocking that a city can be left like this with shopkeepers obviously affected first. This place here, we're here at a good time when it's pretty quiet, you see. Well, it's Thursday afternoon. We're relaxed. 4 o'clock, it's fine. In an hour and a half, it'll get much louder here when the dealers arrive. The drifters will start hanging around. Well, I call them drifters. They're the ones who loiter. They're not really homeless people. The homeless, you know, I've done a lot for them. The drifters, they just hang around. You see, they're there just acting like people. They aren't polite to people. By evening, that's how it is here. I know shopkeepers often call the police, but there's really nothing more that can be done. Everything is just left abandoned. And the shopkeepers, the poor guys, they have nothing left to protect them, and they just have to deal with it. So they have to go out themselves. When people come to their shops, it's catastrophic.
There's a group on the left that isn't very happy to see us, I think.
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Otherwise, we'll film them. All right, yeah. Watch out, watch out. You saw how in a split second in a city center, like I was telling you about the street people earlier, well, what we're experiencing here, it's that people are always around. They come, people all the time. And then they find excuses. But everyone actually goes through this. And people, they're fed up, really? People are fed up with those guys.
So just to give you some context, there was a group of 5 or 6 guys who said, look, that's the far right. After that, they can make phone calls.
It's not a big deal. They can make phone calls if they want.
I don't have a cigarette, sorry.
Well, when I tell you, actually people choose sides, then they make things up however they want. We don't care about the far right or fascists. Those are just excuses. They choose sides. You have to deal with it. You have to accept it.
What's wrong with him? What's happening?
So you're here in Rennes. Well, the Jarl came by for a national gathering since he made a raid. The guys, they stop at the cinema there. Afterward, other things happened and the Jarl was mistaken for a compulsive liar or similar, so he wrote a fake book that wasn't really him.
He's here, we ask him the question, Jarl, the book, did you write it? He suggests you might not have written it. He mentioned rumors saying you weren't the author.
Rumors are nothing new to us. What's your first name? Sebastian, as you saw in the book. Le Jarl and Jean-Luc Riva. There are 2 of us. To write a book, because I already work, I have a job, and to write a book, you still need a bit of talent. It's a profession, that's it. And if I had written the book all by myself, it would have been a bit complicated to make something that was readable for people. However, everything that's told is true.
I saw something else on the internet saying that it's really fake.
So you know Sebastian. Sebastian.
We didn't know that. We're learning things here.
Sebastian, no, it's truly my life. In the book, I'm telling you, at least between us, we know it. It's really my life. Plus, I include many examples and witnesses. Since in this life there are people who are part of the book and who therefore have read the book because I tell their stories. So obviously, if it hadn't been true, people would have known. But no, it's really my life. You missed something. The 3 young guys behind us who talked about us bought some from him. When they were behind us, they talked about me. You saw when we walked by, they mentioned me. They said extreme right there. He was selling them some at that moment.
Who's Sebastian?
Yes, Sebastian, yeah.
Unbelievable. Rennes really has an atmosphere.
There's an atmosphere. Well, yeah, there's an atmosphere. You can really see it when you walk around and everything. You see, but that's what people actually tell me, that even they, when we talk about the feeling of insecurity, everyone attacks that word. But at the same time, in reality, we also have the right to feel that way. That is, yes, there is insecurity, that's undeniable, but at the same time, the feeling is even worse. That means when you leave work and you don't feel comfortable walking in the streets, when you go into a store and you don't feel comfortable in the store, when you go to a restaurant and you don't feel comfortable. There is a real feeling, and honestly, that feeling is never insignificant. Because we are genetically wired to protect ourselves, that feeling is never wrong. Because actually it's built into us. When you're walking and you say to me, it's strange that there's a weird atmosphere in Rennes. Yeah, let's go this way, because over there that's not going to be great.
Why?
We're going to go to the, and then we'll...
You're telling me that over there's a dealing spot?
Yeah, over there it's not going to be good at all. There we can get into trouble really quickly because they're going to come and tell me that we shouldn't film them and stuff, and things can escalate fast.
Yeah, I'm used to that, I understand.
And the idea is not to...
It's really crazy, this atmosphere in France, it's wild.
Yes, it's when we talk about feelings of insecurity, it's never insignificant. That's what I wanted to tell you, because in reality, it's real. I mean, we're really well made. We're made to know how to protect ourselves naturally.
We can also get ourselves worked up.
It's very rare.
A kind of paranoia can set in, and that's really the whole debate. The left will reject it, but honestly, it's just like before. It hasn't changed.
All right. But okay, so the left, let's talk about it. Actually, look at who the people are and where the people who call themselves left-wing or who vote left go. Where do they go on vacation, primarily? Where do they go on vacation? They go to Morocco, they go to Croatia, they go to those countries, actually. When they leave France to go to another country, they go to Hungary. They love Hungary, so I visit those countries.
Japan, they go to Japan.
When they vacation, they pick countries they love. They will choose countries where all the people look alike. I know this very well. Go to Croatia. Croatia right now is full of vacationers, okay? They love the French and often travel to Croatia. Mostly left-leaning people. But why do they go there? They feel safe there because everyone in the city looks like them.
How do you know they're from the left?
When I say from the left, it's when you look at studies, vacation trips. And what's funny is when you look at the vacation departure statistics in other countries, you see that there's a very often, well, mostly I don't have the numbers anymore, so I won't give them here, but I know people will look for them. They'll find them. Well, people on the left often go to countries that are actually very focused on identity. It's funny. If you say in France that you want your country to come first, people attack you, calling you fascist or racist. It's funny. It's completely the opposite of what they promote in our country, actually.
Is everything going well? How are things in Rennes? What's the atmosphere like here, ladies? Ah, so everything's fine. Honestly, it's fine right now.
It's fine right now. We only took you to nice places.
Well, there you go, yeah.
We're not crazy. It's fine. What are we even talking about?
Yes, you're a good customer, Jarl.
Eric told me the message from Television Liberté. I'm a good customer.
Eric Morio?
Eric Morio?
Did he tell you that about your appearance on TV Liberté?
He said you're a great guest.
You did say you voted for Macron twice, though.
I voted, even though people keep nagging me about it. So it's funny, because more than 50% of French people voted for Macron twice. That's just the numbers. Of the voters, yes. So, yes, I voted for Macron twice. The first time, well, I think everyone believed in him a little bit back then. A young newcomer arrived and we joked, here comes the financial genius. I was among the believers.
I didn't believe in him.
I'm telling you, as an entrepreneur, I believed in him. Well, very disappointed with the COVID situation and what happened. The second time, I voted for Macron again because I couldn't tell where Marine Le Pen was leading us. Even after reading her platform several times, I still wondered where her program would take us. Because everyone keeps saying far right, but she has an economic policy that's left-wing, seriously left-wing. People voting for National Rally focus on the program, not other factors.
They don't support the national rally because of its economic program.
Well, yeah.
They vote for its immigration program.
You choose, yeah. But even regarding immigration, there were a lot of things that weren't very clear in 2022, really not clear at all.
I have a question to ask you. You know, we see a lot of controversies about you on social media. We see people calling you a scammer and similar things. Friends, don't forget to become a contributor if you like my work. It's the best way to support me and to access my reports in full version. So thank you to all my contributors and thank you. Okay, well, let's get going again then.
We're back.
But yeah, it's Jarl.
Hey guys, how are you? I always shake hands with anyone who calls out. You all good?
How's the vibe in the arena, guys? A bit like a ghetto? Take care of yourselves, okay?
Did you see that? It's funny what that young guy said. The young ones, he says, so what's Rennes like? And him, did you see how he described Rennes in one word?
Ghetto.
He called it ghetto. How old was he? He was 13, 14 years old. Yeah, you know. And he tells you it's ghetto. Isn't it dramatic to hear a young guy like him say it's ghetto? Yes, it is dramatic because for him at 14, his view of Rennes is that it's ghetto. But, well, for me, that actually makes me sad. I find it crazy that this city has become like this, you know.
This city is beautiful. Look at that view. Honestly, we haven't seen the worst parts yet.
No, we haven't visited the worst places, and that's intentional. First of all, because we're not going to make a video just to get views by showing the worst places in Rennes. I think the media already profit by showing Rennes' worst areas. So there's no need to do like them. It's more about showing nice places in Rennes. We're in the center. You saw the people. They're friendly. We don't have people coming to bother us or attack us. And the city itself, it's beautiful, you know? There are always a few spots with graffiti. There are still some on the poles over there, but there's nothing we can do about that. But the idea is also to show a beautiful image of this place.
That's where you see there's a huge inertia in France, even though the situation is getting worse. You see that it's still a beautiful country, you know? It actually takes decades to bring a country like France to its knees.
It takes decades, that's for sure. But we've done in 5 or 6 years what took us 50 years to do. You see, that's what's tragic.
Faster than it should be done.
There, you can really see that things move quickly with the chaos in this country. While we're discussing drug trafficking, the economic policy is also disastrous. Nothing works anymore, that's what needs to be pointed out. Nothing works well. You look at schools, universities, it's complicated. You look at hospitals, it's messed up. We rarely discuss our judicial system, but we could address it meaningfully in just a few years. In 6-7 years, our elected officials have wrecked the country.
Over 6 or 7 years, really, it goes back 40 years.
Yeah, okay, people always tell me that when I say this. We should stop saying things like, even just 10 or 15 years ago. We still managed to live, it was okay, you know, but now even, what's really serious is that even when you work today, well, you're still struggling, and that's what's really serious. How is it that in a country like ours, when you work, you still struggle actually?
How's it going, guys? That's a lie.
Yeah, the small-time dealers don't like me since I interfere with their business, but it's not a big deal.
You're struggling because actually we're taxed to death.
That's it. And it's serious that in a country like ours, when you work, you can't even live a normal life. Even with a job, you struggle to afford your apartment. You struggle to afford food and bills, and that's when things get serious. Don't say it's been 15 years. It hasn't. It's only been 6 or 7 years. And in that time, things have gotten worse financially for everyone. Basically, we're supposed to keep our mouths shut, say nothing, and just keep working without speaking up, you know?
Yeah, but you see, I can imagine people on the left who might watch this video, because some people who watch me are on the left, they might say, yeah, but that's a reactionary argument. You know, like barroom talk, it's not that bad in France. We need to stop exaggerating. You watch too much of that news, I'll let you respond to that.
Actually, you just have to look at how people live, how people get by in their daily lives, to see that everyone is struggling. You have a family meal, you ask people, and half your family will tell you, unless you're in a wealthy family, where everything's fine, where you have 50 apartments in Brittany, properties here and there, all the regular people who work regular jobs, let's say, in a normal life. That's 90% of people. At some point, they're going to tell you, well, yeah, it's actually getting hard. Salaries don't match our work anymore, and everyday life doesn't match the reality of what we do and what we live. And it's normal. You go shopping, prices have multiplied. They've gone up 15, 20% in just 2 or 3 years. You consider all house expenses, including the electricity bill and more. But costs have soared while salaries haven't risen. Well, at some point, it just doesn't work anymore. And that's our real problem, actually. They're on the left. They're all on the left. Did you see that? There's a whole group of Antifa on the left.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
If they're following us, we won't be shocked when we reach the front, since we can't do anything otherwise. Theo, tell me if they're following us.
So we can't go to the central square of Rennes?
Well, no, because you saw, actually, they must have made some phone calls. They always do this in the cities where they set up, quickly bringing in many people. With the buses and everything to come, especially here, because I think here it's you here. Me, well, I come during the day, here and there. It's because they saw you filming, that you were here, and so you have all the guys with masks. That's it. Are they still following? If there are only 4, we'll have no choice but to go with them if they keep it up.
The problem is, if they start making calls and from 4, it becomes 15, you know?
Okay, but you see, in today's France, is that normal? I feel like you're worried, right?
Well, yes, because I'm used to it.
Yeah, well, me too, I'm used to it, but I feel like you're worried.
I think I'm more used to it than you are.
No, I think the latest videos about the guys, the Antifas and the far left. I think I broke the records. I still had 200 in front of me. If you want, we're in a country where we can film ourselves and speak freely.
Theoretically.
Theoretically. And if they're not happy and they want to put pressure on people, then at that point, we're going to turn things around. And then we'll go see them, you know.
And I know that Rennes is controlled by the far left a lot, you know.
Actually, controlled is a bit of an exaggeration.
And why don't we go over there to the central square, but that way?
Because we're going to end up in the place where you'll find all those guys, all those young people. They're there.
They're over there. They take the...
Yeah, they're over there. Yeah, if you want, without you, I'll go. It's no problem. But as soon as they see you're filming and that you're there, it's going to get complicated. We're going to go into direct conflict. But if we have to go into conflict, we'll go. But I don't think that's what we're looking for. It's pointless.
No.
We're not here to create buzz over conflicts that are pointless anyway.
Exactly. That's not what I'm seeking at all, despite what people think.
But again, you see, it's still a beautiful city. When you see this, isn't it magnificent? You see this, Vincent? It's beautiful. It's really something special.
No, of course. All right, here we go.
All right, here we go.
To clarify, we couldn't go where we wanted.
Are they on the right?
Are they just to the right? Where?
So that means there are 2 groups. I saw them over there. You see, that's the general environment of the city. Actually, they're so sure of their impunity that they allow themselves to do things like this. I put this kind of craziness in the same category. I mean, you know, we always talk about dealers, you know, okay. But that's not all. The real problem in France...
It's the biggest problem. For me, it's this violence against people who don't think like them.
Actually, that's it. That is to say, you're at a point where you have political opinions. There have always been differences in political opinions. I've always known that. Everyone has. But now, for the past few years, it's become unbelievable. Because when you're part of certain political movements, violence is part of their way of speaking. Actually, it's a whole thing. They don't just talk, they add violence to it. They'll steal your camera, insult you from afar, approach, push you, and try to make you slip up until something happens. By the way, they'll film you too until something happens so they can say, look, they're the bad guys.
Yeah. And actually, they're real.
So, in the first place, you didn't ask them for anything, you didn't follow them, you didn't call them, you didn't film them, but they come anyway. They're the ones who come to us. We're not seeking them out or trying to meet them. So they call each other and very, very quickly they create things. Or by bus, they arrive quickly and surround us. We asked for something, but we don't care about them. Let them live and discuss their political opinions if they want. Let them do it like everyone else, but for them, that's not enough. It's that, on top of that, they want to put pressure on you and, well, so you shouldn't give in, you shouldn't accept that pressure, and you have to keep going. I dare to hope that one day a politician will be placed at the Ministry of Justice and the Ministry of the Interior. Wakes up one morning and says, yeah, but on the other hand, that's not normal. That the far left or that the young people of the far left have political opinions is one thing. On the other hand, they use the same methods actually as the dealers to assert or make their voices heard. Well, those ones too, we're going to lock them up. We're also going to put them in jail.
Because actually they're in a delusion where they think that we are far-right fascists. That if we had the power, they claim violence against us is justified because we would create a dictatorship. They label us as Untermensch, who threaten humanity, so they think it's acceptable to attack us. We can stop them from speaking. We can even kill them eventually. It's for the greater good. Yeah, it's really, you see, it's a doctrine, you know?
It's a doctrine, but then
It's an ideology that's extreme.
exactly, it's intense. But again, I'll say it to you. It might be shocking when I say it, but they're still kids. They're 20 years old. You saw them, those little ones. They're 20 years old. But what do you want? Do you want me to tell you? If we run after them, then what happens? Well, they run away. That's it. They're going to run away because they're not going straight to the front. What do you want to do? Hit kids? Well, they're not going to hit kids. To me, they're just kids. Unless they insult me, if they attack me, yeah, then I'll hit them. That's for sure. But if they don't do anything to me and leave me alone, then I'll leave them alone. I'm not interested in them. However, I can understand that they're defending their ideology. Let them defend it, but people who think like them shouldn't come here. I always have a really hard time. Bruno Retailleau, who's obviously a guy who's clearly involved, then they're over there. Yeah, look, he's waving at me. Yeah, you see?
I'm good, and you? They're over there, look. How many are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5, right? He said you were a far-right guy.
That's funny.
Far-right? Do you know what that means?
Well, yes, I know what it is.
It means purely French. Seriously, the purely French part is important. Where is she now? Right, she's there. The municipal police are still present.
I can't understand how a guy like Bruno Retailleau doesn't make really tough decisions. And they say, there you go. Every time they cover their heads, every time they come to bother people, every time they come to bother those who are filming and all that, we catch them and send them to prison, but they're just kids. Yes, I know, but at some point that's what needs to change in this country. Actually, it's all those who, because they're part of those who, because of these news and all that. Yes, okay, the dealers shoot the dealers. Well, sometimes dealer Islam, that's it. Yes, eventually there are also topics about people who break things for others. Those ones, they're part of it, they bother other people, and so at some point those ones too. Maybe we should catch them in universities, schools, or protests, and then give them real sentences. Sentences that make them think, because on top of that, they're still very, very young people who live in nice little neighborhoods. They're unfazed, 15 days in jail would settle them down.
But on the other hand, there's a real issue here, which is what do we do? Actually, because those guys, they were more. Earlier, they could easily be 10, 15, 20, 30. We're in Rennes, so what's the issue here?
Well, we're going to keep moving forward as long as we have to. And if they really, really don't leave us alone, then you'll see what the issue is.
Anyway, they won't do anything for now.
No, but don't worry. Anyway, you know what's going to happen, Theo. If they do something, we'll go the other way. And we're the ones who will go meet them.
There aren't many of us here, you know.
Come on, stop it.
There are 3 of us, 4 with Thomas. But Thomas, he's at the end of his rope now.
Theo takes 4 and I take 4, that's it.
So basically the situation is that they're actually just there. They're about 150 meters away, several of them wearing masks, clearly trying to pressure us as usual. We said it in the media. I even saw some rebellious deputies saying, here is the Jarl, far-right militia leader in Rennes, you know, organizing racist attacks, things like that. You see what I mean? That's kind of it. That was their rhetoric. So you're supposedly part of militias?
Oh, no, we're not part of any militias. We actually protect the clients and we protect ourselves, that's all. When it comes to attack or protection, we like it and we sign up for it. For example, at the nightclub, we're there to ensure guests have a good time, get home safely and aren't harmed or attacked. Our goal is to ensure everyone who comes to us is as safe as possible.
You're not involved in any political group?
Oh, no, I'm not political at all. I'm not into that.
Remember, friends, reclaim your personal data with today's Incogni. It's important. Use the link in the pinned comment or description and enter promo code VINCENT for 60% off. We'll keep going. Well, let's keep going, huh?
They backed off then, didn't they?
No, they were just there, right next to us. They were at the corner of the street.
Well, there you go. I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, no, listen, this little walk is really nice.
We walked in the city center.
We didn't go all the way to the center.
We didn't reach the Rennes City Hall because you quickly noticed a few Antifas calling each other. You saw they're very well organized.
Yeah, they're quick to react.
And you saw. They regroup very, very quickly. They hide their faces. They put on hats. You saw they're equipped like real terrorists.
Like militias.
like militias. The militia, that's them. But yes, the militia, that's them. But all normal people know it. All normal people tell me so. Actually, that's it. The militia, that's them. They're the ones who reorganize stuff from big fascists from more than 70, 80 years ago. They're the ones who picked up the torch. They can say anything to the other fascists. Far right, National Rally, whoever. You heard them shouting earlier. No, you guys are actually like that, not us. Did you see those two guys who greeted me earlier? They were really nice. You saw there's an Arab guy, there's a black guy. You know what I mean? Them. They don't care about those kinds of people. Them. I keep saying it. All those guys. Us. Whether it's you or me, anyway, they like us. In reality, they don't care about their crappy stories and their way of thinking. They don't see me as a fascist or an extremist. Because I keep saying it. But the people I hang out with, the people I live with, the people I train with, we're nothing like an Antifa militia. I have all sorts of people with me. Is it normal for a city to have about 15 guys like that? About 20 guys who can get together in just a few minutes, meet downtown just to mess with a guy filming videos. Is that normal? And they camouflage themselves, they hide, they put on masks and hats. Is it normal to live in a city like Rennes? It's not normal for us to see this in France in 2025.
They're networks, you know, they're aggressive networks with projects that are
violent.
They organize to threaten, even attack guys.
I think that if you looked closely, we didn't see a single far-right group suddenly show up, coming in masked with hats on their heads and hiding so that only their eyes are visible. Well, no, we didn't see that here. Here, we only saw left-wing people doing that today. You see, that's it.
It's surprising the Young Guard hasn't been disbanded, right?
Me, I'm for the removal of all those groups, all the extremist groups, except that today, the only extremist groups people really talk about are the far left. Because people keep telling me that in Rennes, they're chasing after Antifas and the far right and all that. Oh yeah? Where are they in Rennes? Where are they in Rennes? They're not there anymore, actually. You might find a few really right-wing things in the soccer teams and stuff, but we're still far from witnessing what we just saw. So for me, the ones who are really the real dangers today, in 2025, are more like them. You saw people looking at them, wondering what they're doing and who they are. Well, no wonder. Everyone's surprised that it's even possible. In a secure country, plenty of police would stop them and ask, "What are you doing here? Where do you think you are? Who are you? We catch you and it's custody, guys. You're going to explain to us why all of a sudden you're gathered in a group of 15 or 20, hooded, hidden, dressed like terrorists. Well, they should be caught and taken away. Because look at us, we're not hiding, we're right here."
On the plaza, they actually didn't see us. They got lost, and there are two on scooters who have been following us for a while, but we lost them.
We're ending this report to avoid confrontation as planned.
Oh yeah, they're over there exactly there looking for us.
Well, thanks. Listen, for your invitation to Rennes. I'll come see you at your campsite.
Oh, well then, you'd better. I'll even be the one to invite you. Yeah, sounds good. Anyway, it was a pleasure being with you. As always, you got to see our beautiful city of Rennes.
Thank you, Jarl, and thanks to everyone for watching. Please share, comment, and like. See you soon for more adventures. See you very soon.
Even the LF, supporting deputy from Nantes, gets caught buying from a 15-year-old.
I think they were actually hostile.
Yeah, we don't care. When they leave prison, their business and network are stronger than before.
How do you know that?